Hey guys, HappyCattyCrypto here, and welcome back to the channel for another VSG video. VSG is such an interesting subject at the moment for myself because I'm always consistently looking for the next big kind of like utility coin to get involved in. With so many meme coins out there on the market and the meme coin market being so hot, what's eventually going to happen is that's going to stop being hot and everything kind of shifts over to the utility based coin focus. And that's what I'm kind of preparing for. I've already prepared for the meme coin side of things. Things are running, things are looking good. But I'm also looking for some of these real kind of plays that you've got to be very stuck to, you've got to get very involved in, and it becomes a real kind of big community effort moving forward. So if you are part of the VSG community, again, already, you've probably noticed that the site is in maintenance mode. And this just seems because the team is going through a huge amount of changes in the background. So what we understand currently is VSG was going to be a layer 2 chain. But what the team has recently realized is they are in a market which is an attention market. And it's very important to get your timings right because BTC itself is going through a phase known as chop solidation. Although we can see BTC going up, we can also BTC keeps coming down as hard as it goes up. And during this time, we're going to chop solidate for quite some time. Some people think this is going to go to around September, but what I'm looking at is the way that the VSG are timing things. The whole thesis around launching at the right time couldn't be more appropriate for VSG moving forward. So what we do know is, right, they've decided to go from an L2 chain to an L1 chain. And I think this is so very important moving forward because, like I said, we are in an attention market. And if you are to try to get some of this attention brought your way as a utility token, you've really got to stand out from the crowd. And that's on top of standing out from the crowd on those $4 gas fees, no matter the size of a transaction, right? You'll always be able to get a flat $4 gas fee on VSG. On top of that, you've got the amazing burn system, which torches $1 worth of VSG per transaction. So at the same time, this whole thing's hyper deflationary. But like I said, and like I was saying, right, we're in an attention market. And it's very important that we understand as people that are involved with this project that what they're doing is probably one of the most bullish things that I've actually come across quite recently in crypto. So first of all, what I want to do is explain to you what you're looking at here. This is called the map of zones, and this is a Cosmos Network Explorer. And the reason why I brought this up is because VSG is going to be one of the first EVM/Cosmos compatible chains. We are talking about a huge gap in the market. I mean substantial. Nobody has successfully bridged the gap in a way that has made things very attractive to not only the Cosmos, but the EVM side of things. And on top of that, this can open up the world to the Solana ecosystem. And VSG's already opened up to Polygon, Solana, and a couple more of these other sort of side chains, which is really good. It's really important. But once again, if you want to become the big boss in the utility sector, you've really got to bridge these gaps. And when you bridge these gaps, and when it comes down to bridging these gaps, you've really got to think about how far this can go. What you need to understand is that everything we see here currently on the screen doesn't have a very good intercommunication level with Ethereum. And this a lot of the time is based on fees because the fees are so cheap on Osmosis, on Cosmos, but fees are a lot different over on Ethereum. And at the same time, fees are really cheap on Solana. So there needs to be some kind of middle ground. There's people that want to go from Cosmos to Ethereum to Solana and keep moving around in circles just to kind of make money wherever they can. And what's very important when you're developing technology, when you're bringing something forward as a utility coin, so to speak, is you want to be interoperable with as much as possible. This is kind of the thesis of not building in a vacuum. Instead, we're doing the totally opposite, and we're just being as attractive as we can to as many different blockchains as possible. So something that I do know and currently is a very bullish thing for me is they've hired 2 more developers, and these developers will be added to the website. I'll allow VSG to do the big news, the big update on those developers moving forward. But I have no doubt a lot of you would be very, very bullish to know who these people are. There is a voice chat that has been recorded and put into the VSG group where you can go and get this news earlier. Like I said, that's available. I'll leave links to it so you guys can go check that out if you want to. You can have a listen and you can get as bullish as I am currently. So during times like this, during these really kind of weird moments where everything's chop solidating, everything's kind of going up, it's coming back down, what I'm doing is treating this as another go, another attempt, another chance to fill my bags up and have a really good think about what I want to be invested in this bull run, because we are closing into it, we are into it, but we still have time. So I'm ever so very bullish on VSG becoming a bubble on the Cosmos Network Explorer, because like I said, right, this blockchain is aiming to grab the attention of a huge gap in the market. And if you can create this bridge, you can become the bridge for all of these. So anybody wanting to leave the Cosmos, as we can see, if we highlight one of these, it shows you what it's interconnected with. We can make our way through the Cosmos and we can tread our way through quite well with a very good product. And that's kind of like what I'm thinking at the moment. That's kind of like my perspective on things. Now, I'm very happy with the way the team's doing stuff, because we've always got that consistent kind of push of like people saying like when launch, when this, when that. And the team's very, very cool. They're very collected and they're very careful on what they roll out and when they roll it out. And honestly, as someone who understands this blockchain is going to have its validating layer, consensus layer, governance layer, community pool, rewards pool, it's going to have all of these different ins and outs and all of these different bells and whistles. There's so much that goes into it. And knowing that these two developers have just got on board makes me ever so much more bullish on this than I was before. And that's probably just because I know these developers. I've seen the kind of work that they can produce. I know what they've been through, so to speak. And obviously someone who's new to the VSG community and someone who's new to crypto won't understand how important having good developers are moving forward. Because an L1 blockchain in itself isn't something you just build, launch it, and then that's it. It's done. You've crossed the T's, you've dotted the I's kind of thing. It needs consistent work, consistent upkeep. For example, right, if this is successful, it becomes an EVM/Cosmos based chain where it can intercommunicate with both sides of that world, so to speak, right? Then we've got to say to ourselves, this is now becoming a situation where there's going to be a lot going into it. So for example, if we want to intercommunicate with Osmosis, there's going to be work and coordinated work that needs to be done, for example, between VSG and Osmosis moving forward. It's really, really easy to do. A lot of the times you'll need relayers. So you just need to literally spin up a relayer. Governance agrees that, yes, we would all like this IBC relayer. That goes up. And unless the other chain goes, well, we don't actually want that relayer, that relayer will stay there. It will continue to do what it does best. Now, when I think about VSG and where this is going, a lot of us can't comprehend how big this chain's going to be. Now, something that's really interesting, and some people who like NFTs, is the NFT side of things. So depending on which NFT you got, you get a fee share per 100 transactions, which is absolutely insane. And people have been running numbers going through. But the more I've gone through it, because I like to deep dive into these things and kind of say to myself, well, is this sustainable? And the simple answer is yes, it's actually highly sustainable. And there's a lot there that you can do with all of this. So like I was saying, this is the map of zones. I'll leave a link to this as well. This is definitely the aim of VSG, is to become intercommunicated with all of this side of the cosmos. And then at the same time, being interconnected with the whole Ethereum system. It's an absolute game changer, to say the least. So something else that's really interesting, which is a concept which is being spoken about, is a domain system. Instead of us all having 10 different wallets to hold multiple different coins that are listed on VSG, instead you just have a domain and it's all crushed down into one thing. That can sound very confusing, right? But I find it very confusing when we need 50 wallets for 50 different things. Each one of those wallets has a memo and it's all contained inside. It gets very confusing. We get a lot of lost transactions. We have to double, triple check things. And this is kind of introducing a system, right, which is easily interoperable by all age groups, so to speak. And this is the aim of crypto, is to create something, right, that is highly accepted, it's easy to use, it's easily understandable. So something else really cool that VSG do is a weekly giveaway. All you've got to do is go and follow them on their Twitter, follow the rules, get involved, join the Telegram, and you could get drawn in this every week. So many people have been drawn in this. I've been watching this since the very beginning. It is a real giveaway. They do actually give that away. So if you're up for giveaways, you like free money, maybe you're a lucky person who just always gets lucky. I know a few people like that. Then you have got this giveaway to get involved in. So I'll leave links to this. I'll leave links to the VSG Telegram as well. I'll leave links to the website, although like I said, it is under maintenance. It is currently going through a very substantial update, which is going to be very bullish moving forward. Now, like I was saying, right, the NFT side of things, if you get an NFT now, you can actually stake now as well. Does this mean you can't stake your coins if you don't have an NFT in the future? Absolutely not. I assume things would change later on down the line. That would be like an early access thing for NFT holders. But obviously, as any validating chain works normally, is you stake through validators. So it's going to be a really interesting situation. What I'm starting to see and what I'm starting to notice is wallets like my own accumulating coins every time it's bouncing off that trend line, hitting up the accumulation, getting those coins ready for their validators. I can also see a lot of people that are stacking coins, but doing it in small buys, very, very small buys. And what I can understand that they're doing is they're either staking those coins and harnessing the power of staking already, or they're preparing to harness the power of staking. And obviously with all of this staking and everything like that comes reward pools. Now, these reward pools in themselves have to be very intelligent, because as you understand, a reward pool depletes. If it's not built correctly, it will be forever depleting. So you've got all of these kind of like monetary money systems with all of these numbers that have to be tweaked down to the T to ensure that the depletion rate of how many rewards are going out to how many rewards are going in. You've got distribution handlers on the transactions. And then you've got Oracle systems, which are more or less going to keep that flat $4 gas fee at $4. And these are such important points moving forward, because now you're starting to understand about all of these pools, all of these different systems. And then on top of this, these developers that have come on board will be producing a wallet system, infrastructure for you, the users, to use. So, a couple months down the line from now, you should start to see everything starting to roll out. But what I'm understanding quite well right now is the chop solidation side of things, and the fact that the team, although there's a lot of pressure to probably launch this thing, they're doing it right. Because if you launch now in a phase of chop solidation, when everybody is just looking at these meme coins, they're just looking at BTC, they're looking at ETH, they're more interested in these ETFs right now, this is the time when you build. This is the time when you prepare something for this attention market and get ready to gain the attention of the market. Now, we know the owners of this project are very good at marketing. They've done a very, very good job, and I assume they'll continue to do an amazing job. What I do know is a new marketing campaign starts this Monday, which is really good. Every time we have one of these marketing campaigns, the price does tend to shoot up. But I myself, right, I'm very happy to see that we're getting more chances of these clawbacks where I'm able to get more coins for my validator in the future, more coins to stake and more coins to stack up to use and utilize on all of these different projects that are going to be launching on VSG. So in the Telegram group, there is a lot of information in the group specifically. It's one of those topic groups, so you can just kind of go in, you can browse about and you can have a look. But the project launches section, it's amazing. So you should go in, you should look at all of these different projects that are looking to launch. But what you should understand is VSG is not only aiming to be a technology which makes it very easy for a project to launch, it's also very suitable for these projects. But on top of that, right, VSG is looking to capitalize on actual market movements. We're talking about a huge gap in the wall, and VSG is building the section to go in between, and they're going to stick a gate between and go, there's a $4 gas fee to pass between, and people will pass between. You're creating something that people need, people want, and people will just use because it's there, it's cheap, and it's readily available. So a flat $4 gas fee doesn't actually sound like a lot, but if you think about it, if you're on Ethereum and you can send all of your coins over to VSG, you can make your swap and you can go to the chain whatever you wanted to, and it only cost you $4. Whereas gas right now is around $14 to $20. You know, you've already saved a lot of money just doing that. And that's such a strong, empowering thought to end this video on. So links to absolutely everything. I'll get more VSG videos up for you guys. I am prepping and working on a podcast at the moment with the with the owners and some of these new developers that have come on board. So it's a really good time. I'm very bullish. I'm very happy to see how well the chart's doing, how well we're holding, and honestly, just seeing how well everybody's doing moving forward and not rushing into what is possibly a chop consolidation phase. Guys, stay safe. Have a really nice Saturday. Stay humble. Stay aware as always. Protect your seed phrases. Question everything. If you're unsure, go and ask someone. DM me on Telegram. Just stay safe. And other than that, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.